let's see. Can I share just one window this time? No. No, it doesn't like it when I do this. I don't know why, but apparently Google does not like me sharing. GIMP, just GIMP. So I'll just share the entire screen so you can view all my other thingamabobs. Let's open up the cover art I was working on. Yeah, I'll turn the other one into a wallpaper maybe. I was working on sketching the background, if I recall correctly. I had just finished that tree thing and Philomena up there. Let's see here, what layer am I on? I am currently working on the sketch of the background. That is correct. Let's see here. That is part of the background. What is my tool? My tool is not selected. One of the best things about GIMP is that you can add your own tool presets and that you can attach paint dynamics to them. So like I think I have tools specifically for particular images that I needed. So I think I have like a feather tool and cloud tools and a whole lot of other things. This one is just for fun, but looky, it's all making the picture all 20% cooler. Like, I know it's old, but I just have to. It's so compelling. It's compelling me to say that it's cooler. Okay. Isn't that just the most wonderful of frames to put on a picture? There. Oh my God. So, a rainbow. Oh, hello. I just noticed something. This is on the foreground tree. So, I'm going to make a rainbow tree, ship it with Fluttershy. Or Tree Hugger. Or all of them. Why are ships only between couples? Why not ship all the ponies into one little package? I guess that would be one big package. You want to fit all of them into one cardboard box and ship them to the human world. I need to know one thing. I need to know which layers are on top, which ones are on the bottom. This is a sketch. That is the tree. This is a sketch. That is Philomena. This is a sketch. That is the center tree. I'm gonna... Okay, this is also part of the background. I'm not sure if I should segregate the backgrounds, separate them. One for this side of the picture and one for this side. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm just gonna doodle. Yankee Doodle. Dupe. Picture is quite bright though. Why is that? I have my colors. How visible is this? It's not very visible. I'm gonna bucket this. There we go. Whoa! That is the wrong layer. That is too dark. I'll just turn it gray. There we go. No. There. Yes, it has kept my preset too. Uh-oh, what is this? I did not like it. I did not like it one bit. There. Gotta keep an eye out on GIMP. Sometimes it's a little... Yeah, there we go again. It's not even on that layer. Where is that? If I What layer is that on? It's clearly on something visible. It's not on the background. It's not on the Philomena layer. It's not on the foreground. Where is that? What? I have a smudge on my picture. On the what? It's on the composition of all things. There you go. I keep an eye out on GIMP because it can get a little. I'm looking for a fancy word, but I can't find one at the moment. It can get a little, I don't know, unruly. There we go. Finish the tree. I wanted this path to be fairly narrow, so I'm just gonna take this line and draw it closer to the foreground. So now the path is basically fairly narrow. And then this can go over there. There we go. Indeed. This is not a 50-foot twilight. I have a twilight sparkle. What? I have a twilight sparkle sketch somewhere. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I have a twilight sparkle. It's not way up in the sky. Not a 50-foot twilight sparkle. Yeah. There. I need to see if there's a chat. Mute myself. Yes, there is a chat. No, there are no viewers. I don't particularly care. One day, we can host impromptu events, and there will be people. The way I typically do trees is with various brushes that I just combine into basically edgeless trees. I'm not sure how much I should sketch here, because, like, well, is that this particular? No, that's not this particular picture. I can show you in this one. Over here, you can clearly tell that these did not have lines on them. So I'm not sure how much line art I should put in them. What I can do is see if I can make it more interesting, like having branches going over the path itself. So that would be like, yeah, I can do that. Let's just make this outline. Get smaller near the edges, or near the horizon. Meaning these should be bigger lobes. And then decrease the size as they grow near the horizon. There we go. Let's see here. I need a twilight sparkle sketch because I need to know what is useful to sketch on. See, if this is going to be obscured by twilight sparkle, I'm not going to draw there. There's just no point. Had it been an actual 3D environment, that would be a different story. I'm going to make it more interesting by putting up small patches of leaves just almost floating here, except they're not going to be floating, they're going to be supported by branches. But like, they're going to be like green clouds, just suspended, casting shadows. This is fairly close. I'm just gonna, it's a little bigger. Of course, this is not going to be like the final shape. This is just a sketch. As you could tell by the other picture, I just use a brush for leaves and such. We're gonna use that shape for a tree anyway. Might as well make bigger lumps of leaves that are suspended slightly lower and are obscuring the higher ups, only ever so slightly. So these are fairly lower, and that's why they're bigger. There, and then they're not connecting to this foreground tree either. They just go off somewhere. So it can go somewhere else. I already know what I can draw. Doop doop. I'll put another one over here. This isn't going to be a long live stream either, because I am in between two parties. I was at a party tonight, and tomorrow is going to be a celebration thingy, an anniversary, that's the word, of my brother moving into his new home. So I'll even miss the new episode. Isn't that a shame? But I'll have a party, so that's great. But like I won't be here to art stream. Probably. Yeah. Well, I'll be back by this time tomorrow, so I may very well do an art stream then. It's gonna be a Saturday night. What better time to do an art stream and hang out with the people I like? Okay, so we have background foliage over here. We have these in the foreground, and then we need like background foliage here too. That is going to be like the back, that is going to be behind the foreground foliage in the background, if that makes sense. I'll just put another small one over here. I like adding these small shrubs because I'll have a lot of freedom or a lot of fancy ways of manipulating the light using this. It'll give off a lot of I'll probably be able to do a lot of fun things with the lighting and contrast, because like the light is gonna come from the middle here. It's gonna be cast somewhere around here, and then so it's gonna be cast down like this, and then of course these sides are all gonna catch light to some extent. This is gonna be light, and the other side is gonna be dark. So if I darken this a little and darken this and this and this and this, you can see that you'll have a bit of contrast over here. You'll have some contrast over here. Of course, this is going to be light in the background, but also slightly darker than this bit of cloud over here. Or it's not cloud, it's tree, leaves. So you're going to have like bands of light and dark, blobs, maybe the better term. And of course, that's going to happen on the other side too. But there's a lot more to this side than the rest of this side. And just one more, because it's not all that. I have like minor issues with images ending or perfectly fitting in a border that is a natural part of the image itself. So this foreground tree is of course going to obscure these trees over here. But if you stop at the edge that this tree is going to set, it's going to look like there's nothing behind the tree, which of course there is. There's an entire forest behind the tree. So it's all about making that illusion or allusion, depending on which word you favor. Okay, so this is a perspective matter. This right here. There's the horizon down here, and I need to make sure that all these trees are about the same height. And that is perspective twilight. And then this can go. Wait, what is this? This does not make any sense. That is not, oh, that is, yeah, there we go. Perspective twilight. I still have Celestia selected. There we go. Yeah, that is, this is the perspective I'm using for twilight. Deep. So yeah. All the lines will fade in, or all the objects will fade into this point. And it's a singular point, meaning I have all my objects face first. As you can, I've covered this in an earlier video, but if you want to do perspective, you can either pick one point to which all other lines will go, like the railways. But if you want to draw a cube in this perspective, you'll always have to draw it, these lines parallel to each other. These lines will be parallel, and these lines will be parallel, because there's no point for them to vanish into. So you'll only have lines that are standing directly on the face going into this point. If you draw with two vanishing points, the vanishing points typically have to be outside of your picture frame. So there's two vanishing points. Then you have this. This is your frame. This over here. Everything in between these corners. This is your frame. And then, of course, you'll have two points to disappear into. Meaning that if you draw a cube in this, you'll be drawing edge first. You can kind of do that like this. If I exaggerate, you'll have something like this. It's edge first, but because this line is not going to go anywhere, it's going to be parallel to this line and to this line. What is most difficult in these kinds of perspective is rotating this cube around its vertical axis, because then you won't be able to draw it neatly perspective or edge first. And the reason you want to have these points outside of your canvas is because if I draw a cube over here, I'll have to draw these lines to either this point or to this point. And I won't know which one I'm going to draw it to, because it's ambiguous. Whereas if I draw a similar cube here in the center, well, it's going to have to be edge first. This is also face first, because it can only go into this point over here. It's going to be face first. This face is now parallel. These lines are parallel, and these lines are parallel. Whereas if I were to draw the same kind of cube here, I would have to draw an edge first, about the same height as these, and then I can draw it like this. So you get something like that. And yeah, so if you have your point inside of your canvas, it's going to look weird. If you draw a point first, you'll have a 3-point perspective, and then you'll have to draw a point first. So, corner first. I'm not sure what the proper term is. So this is the corner of the cube. But I'm going off on a tangent. Let's see here. Philomena is perfectly on the perspective line, as are the three tops. So that's mostly a coincidence. You can just draw any line like this and something will line up. Oh, it's going to draw the trees. So let's have a base height for the trees. Something like this. And then sounds about right, because it lines up with this more or less this foreground tree. Okay, colors back, perspective gone. There. Might want to keep this point as a vanishing point reference. This is a very sloppy line. Oh well, just for the how high for how tall the trees are, how high the trees are. Well, I am Dutch, so we have high trees, I guess. National icon. Doop doop. If you are to believe stereotypes. Okay. Well, since this is a forest, and this is the horizon, all the trees on the horizon are going to have their leaves over here. So any trees in front of this they'll obscure it, but like because this is the horizon, that's where the most distant trees are going to be. That is what they're going to look like. Well, it's going to be there, so I'm not going to spend too much time on those details. So I'm going to sketch it, or I'm going to draw this out further. So there's no need to put too much details in a sketch. Just enough to know what you're going to be doing. That's for character sketches. Those are more important than the background. Since this lines up with this tree, it should be about the same size, and the roots of this tree are going to extend about here. So the next tree is going to be about here. Yeah. I have no idea what kind of trees I'm drawing. If you wanna, draw trees that are technically good, you'll have to look at the way it branches and the way its leaves work, and such. But I'm not gonna do that today because this is a fictional world after all, and I'm just gonna wing it. Pegasus. So my kind of character thingy I use for places is a unicorn. Because every pony knows that Pegasi can't math. Earth ponies can't math. Oh, they can, but like they do it all in their heads. I'm sure Applejack is a very good business pony, but like I doubt she uses fancy mathematics to do it. These are gonna be well. Although the comics would suggest otherwise, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you should read the comics there. Oh no, that's a rarity. Never mind. That's a rarity. This Applejack just has a natural knack for running a business. Maybe she kind of had to, growing up with it. And so many family members to take care of. Oop. I wonder if anyone's shipped Bloomberg with Tree Hugger yet. I'm sure it's been done, but still, kind of makes you wonder. Okay, so this inter-tree distance needs to decrease as much as the perspective demands. If the forest, so these kind of I'm not sure. Is the environment in Equestria well, this is not just a random forest in this picture. This is a bit of nature or park-ish area near Canterlot. So if anything, I would say that this is an artificial path. And therefore, these trees will be planted, and therefore, I think they will be regularly or evenly spaced. The way I draw is I think and analyze a lot about pictures I make. I want to make sure I get a lot of the details right. And so the nature of how these trees have been planted even comes into play. It's not something you would consider typically for if you're drawing a forest, just a random forest, you could just plant trees anywhere you like. But this is no ordinary forest. This is a very special, fancy forest. It's also early April, and the story mentions that there's snow and ice and stuff. That's why I made the sky kind of orangish. You get orange skies during the winter, at least in the northern hemispheres, like upper northern hemisphere. Plus, Canterlot is up on a mountain. I'm not sure how that's relevant. I'm guessing skies on mountains tend to be more blue because there's less atmosphere to get in the way, distort the light. I also want to incorporate the message of the story. The message of the story is basically that Princess Celestia is never too far away from Twilight Sparkle. She can always count on her to be there without prejudice, and not just as a teacher but also as a friend. It's a nice story. It's a slice of life that will kind of make you think about the characters, not necessarily about your life or relationships you may have and such, but about the characters themselves. Still interesting read, especially when you're a brownie fan of the show. Okay, I've got some trees going evenly spaced to the background. Should put some bark on them once they're finalized, no shapes. Doop. Let's see here. It's also almost 15 past 1 a.m. It's 1:15 a.m. Kind of promised myself I'd go to bed at that point. At that time. Let's get Twilight back in this picture. Yeah. I'm going to leave the opening over here. She's going to come from this way. And the reason for this is so I can keep the other side. Oh, a bit more like a tree. The reason for that is so I can keep this side closed. Just make these trees more consistent. In fact, I could, if I wanted to, make a template tree. We'll make like 3 template trees and just copy paste those, or a bark texture. These bark textures I've all drawn by hand, and to see a bit of a result of that, to show you what that's going to look like. It's going to kind of look like this tree over here. So this is all hand drawn, no textures used here. And I really like what I did with this tree is when I sketched it, I made this line over here, this curving down over there, and then I added these bulges over here. So this bulge and this bulge and it looked like if you have a normal piece of wood and you twist it around and then you dry it out. That's basically what this is, or what it should look like. Wasn't much intentional, but it did make a nicer result. It did give a nicer result, especially when I added these little light spots in between the arc. Really brought it to life. I think this tree has about 7 layers, all in all. The lighting alone has 2 to 3 layers. 1 for highlights, 1 for lighting, 1 for shading, and 1 for shadow. I'll explain this different when I get to it, but I do a lot of lighting stuff. I'm going to turn this into a wallpaper at some point. But I didn't like this one for the story as cover art as much as I like this one at the moment. I think this is a better idea. It better depicts what the story is about. Well, I don't know. But it does tell the scenes of the story. So it has Celestia in a pool, and Twilight and Philomena on their way to visit her. And the way I've structured this picture is that they're basically walking towards Celestia in the picture as well. This path is leading up to this side of the picture. And Philomena is so much in the foreground that she's extending from this side of the picture over the edge to the other side of the picture. So she could just fly into there. Also have a cascading waterfall here, so it's going to be a lot of work. But trees are easy. Skies are easy too. So I can get that done fairly quickly. The biggest amount of work, most work is going to be in the rocks. These rocks were a pain to draw. The ice was very easy. I just made a new brush for the snowflakes and done. And this magic circle was easy too. Magic circles are so easy in GIMP. You don't even need to draw circles. You can just draw straight lines and use a tool called filters distorts polar coordinates. That will just turn your picture. That will turn any straight line in your picture into a circle. If I do that on the what's it called? Composition, which is these 9 lines, the grid. Filter distorts polar coordinates. Don't crash, please. I set GIMP to use 512 megabytes in internal memory. So if that is used up a lot, it's going to slow down. Yeah, it's fairly faint, but you can see that the horizontal lines have been turned into circles, and the vertical lines have been turned into lines that go like this, from the center to the end. Now, if you were to draw a line from a horizontal line to another horizontal line diagonally, it would turn into a spiral. I don't have the other picture open anymore. But that's how you draw spirals on magic circles. That makes it all very easy. What is this? Yeah, what is that? Okay, I'm kind of curious what it looks like when I have just the sketches open. Without the colors. And then add sketches for Celestia, Twilight. I have a squirrel added. Yeah, it's over here. I'll have a rabbit down here. I'm gonna make the forest look lively. Oh, wait, I have the sketch of the foreground. It's almost invisible. There we go. Yeah. Should also have a sketch of the, oh, it's cascade. Yeah. So this is very much what it's gonna look like. I'll put some shrubberies around here. Philomena is also very transparent. There we go, that's better. So yeah, you've got Twilight Sparkle, Philomena, moving into the next picture. Celestia looking down, standing in the water. I'm gonna make some ripples on the water. Maybe a magic circle. I like magic circles, especially Celestia's. There's one more thing that is faint. This one, there. So yeah, this is what it's gonna turn out to look like. Got something done today? Good enough for me. Oh, there. And now I need this sketch here. Save. Yeah. Okay. Well, next time I'm gonna try and see if I can finish the sketch of the background on this side. And I think we can start the actual coloring then, instead of just having to rely on this 50-foot Twilight Sparkle and this very faint Philomena. Yeah. I'll try and see if we can do that tomorrow. Hangouts. See you later.